everybody, and in this video I'm going to be giving you guys a full review of the Hunter Gauntlets called Don't Touch Me. So first of all, let's take a look at the special attributes that these gauntlets have. The first one is that it increases your reload speed with all special weapons. The second one is that you get increased super energy gain from killing minions of the darkness. And the third one, which is why it's called Do Not Touch Me, is you go invisible every time you are hit with a melee attack. So first of all, let me just show you what these look like, because you can't actually see what they visually look like from the preview, because the thing that makes these gauntlets look different is the little beetle looking thing on your right shoulder, which you can't see in the preview. And like a lot of exotic armors, these do not die, so they're stuck blue. If no matter what shader you put on, they're gonna be blue. So when you're rocking the Don't Touch Me gauntlets, you might want to color coordinate accordingly. If you don't care about that stuff, then it doesn't matter. But if you are someone that doesn't like to clash wearing like random colors with these random blue gauntlets, then you might want to color coordinate. But now let's go ahead and get into the actual good stuff that you want to know about how these gauntlets work. So the way that these gauntlets work are very simple. Every time you get hit by a melee attack, you go invisible, and this invisibility lasts for approximately 7 seconds-ish if you have the invisibility lasts longer effect on your Blade Dancer. Now the really cool thing about these gauntlets that I think make them super awesome is that if you go invisible from being hit with a melee attack and then you crouch while you're invisible, your crouching invisibility will actually kick in. So you can go straight from being hit with a melee attack invisible to crouching invisible, which means that you can just chain your invisibility all the time. If you get out of invisibility, you get hit by a melee attack, you crouch straight away, and you go straight back to being invisible for a super long time. This is what makes them really awesome, like super awesome, because there's basically never a moment where you're not invisible. If you ever have a situation where you are not invisible, you can always melee and use your blink strike to go invisible again. I understand we're saying the word invisible a lot, but that's important because that's what these gauntlets do, so don't get mad at me. Now the cooldown on the invisibility effect kicking in when you get meleeed is also super awesome because there's basically no cooldown. If you stay invisible for the entirety of the duration of the invisibility effect that you get when you get meleeed, it will be on cooldown straight away. If you come out of being invisible as soon as you get hit with the melee, it's about one attack. So for example, if a thrall hits you, you go invisible, you get out of invisibility, he'll hit you once, you won't go invisible, but the second time he hits you, you go invisible again. I hope you're following this, because we're kind of just saying invisible over and over again, but I'm trying to make it as cohesive as possible. So basically there's no cooldown. As soon as you come out of it being invisible from the first melee attack, you're gonna be invisible again, unless you choose to break your invisibility sooner. So one thing that these gauntlets definitely make easier is running through the abyss on Crota's End raid. If you are someone that wants to try soloing, maybe you haven't done it before, if you have these gauntlets, it's a lot easier, because how it was before is there would usually be a period where your crouching invisibility is on cooldown and you don't have blink strike up, so you can't go invisible that way. So you have to use something like patience and time to scope in and just be invisible for a little bit like that before you could crouch again and go invisible. But with these gauntlets, you don't have to do that. In the footage that I'm showing you right now, I messed up so many times. I got lost. I didn't know what was happening. I messed up so many times, but it doesn't make a difference because I have these gauntlets that will constantly make me go invisible. There were so many times where I mistimed going invisible with my blink strike and stuff like that, but it doesn't matter with these gauntlets. You're able to make so many more mistakes. You don't have to go through the abyss perfectly in order to get to the end and achieve your dreams of soloing the abyss. So if you are someone that wants to definitely try out soloing the abyss and you do have a Blade Dancer, I would recommend that you pick these up because it definitely makes it a lot easier. So in conclusion, I think that these gauntlets are awesome. I've pretty much been using Lucky Raspberry for a super long time because it's the best armor that I could use as my blade dancing hunter. But now that these gauntlets have come along, They're awesome for PvE, especially for me. I literally never use Gunslinger in PvE. I'm always using Blade Dancer, unless I'm doing Vault of Glass, which I don't do anymore because the raid hates me. But I always use Blade Dancer because if my team goes down, I need to be able to go invisible in order to revive them. I need to make sure that I stay alive. And as a Blade Dancer, I very, very, very rarely die when I'm doing strikes, when I'm doing the raid. I very rarely die because of the invisibility build. So if you are like me, or maybe if you just want to try being an invisible hunter instead of being a gunslinger, definitely pick up the gauntlets. They're freaking awesome. They're just super awesome. So I highly recommend that you pick them up if you see Xur selling them, or if you see an exotic engram. I think that you should buy it to try and get these gauntlets. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully you found it helpful and answered your questions about the invisibility, that's the word of the day, effect of these gauntlets. And I'll speak to you awesome people later. Bye.